Hey, welcome to another episode of Hey Biz Buds, the podcast. I'm AJ, and we're not gonna waste any more time. I will be leading today's topic, which is about parenting in the digital age. So before we go into the episode, let's put some definition into what parenting is, what digital age is, because we all have our own thoughts about different definitions. So I'm gonna set the pace for this episode.
Okay.
Okay. So in terms of oh sorry. Oh yes. If you guys are first time watching, don't forget to catch our previous episode. You can always go into our be it our Spotify or YouTube and check out our past episodes if you like our content. Or if you're not or if you would like to know more about other parenting content, you can also check our other episodes out. Okay, so coming back, what is parenting? Okay, so parenting, I will just share my personal definition first, and then I will do a roundtable with my other fellow Biz Buds.
Okay, can.
Yes, exactly, Luna. Okay, so what parenting is to me is it's more of sure being a parent, right? Being a parent and I like this definition whereby you're not raising kids or you're not raising your future self or your younger self because I have a lot of last time all the older folks were saying like, oh, when I was younger I couldn't achieve X certain thing, so now when I have a kid, I'm gonna make that kid achieve my dreams. But if you think about it, it's not about the kid's dream, it's about your dream, your unfulfilled dreams, and you're being forced, you're enforcing your dream to someone else. So parenting to me, it's about raising another human being. Yes, a human being, not anyone else. Okay, so that's for parenting. And for the digital age, I think we all are living it. It's very more easily accessible now compared to back then when I was a kid. Yeah, in terms of like technology back then, like using the computer was like what you call that? So there's only one computer in the house,
Yeah.
and you only have like a period of like time to use it, and it was
Yes.
like so precious. So yes, okay. Kids, you guys are listening, or parents, you guys are listening, you're very fortunate right now, okay, because you have internet easily accessible, you have knowledge easily accessible. So yes, so that's the definition of digital age. Okay, so maybe let's just do a quick roundtable. What do you guys think, or like what parenting is to you, or what do you think digital age is to you?
Oh.
Yes.
Could you wanna go first?
Mm.
Aero people.
I never arrow, I just arrow. I just open the floor.
Okay, parenting is a transition of responsibility from you to another person, which is another person is a part of you also.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's
Itu
on top of
macam
my...
Google definition tapi not.
Oh, you ke? I
Yeah.
just like at the back of my mind.
Oh,
Digital
nice.
age. Is digital age?
It's the age when you
Yeah,
live in that is
yeah,
digital.
the current stage
Yeah.
Oh,
we're at.
wow. We definitely have a lot of educational resources that can help us
Yeah, yeah, correct.
learn from our parents. Um, yeah. Actually, I want to share a story lah. Boleh?
Oh, that's just itching to tell a
Yeah,
story.
please,
Okay,
please
go
share your
ahead.
story. Yes.
Okay. So, as in, sometimes I visit my parents. I visit my parents weekly lah, and there are certain stuff that I do to my kids that my parents don't do to me. And sometimes my mom will ask me, "Oh, why you do this? Like, is this good? Like, I don't do this to you." That kind of stuff. Then I told her lah, like, oh, it's something that everyone's doing now because of what we learn online and stuff like that. So I also asked her, there was some chats with her lah. I asked her, why didn't you do this with us? Why didn't you do this with that, all of now, whatever the knowledge that we have now. And she said, I didn't think about it. I got no help. I only got my mom, as in my grandmother, and that's it. My grandmother also not really involved much in the parenting. And then she said, there's nowhere I can go. That I don't know about Google. I don't know about Instagram. Not everything's on Instagram. So she said that it's nice that now if we have a problem or an issue or concern, we can just Google it or we can just ask someone, because now people are much more appreciative of moms, appreciative um of humans in general. Like, I
Yes.
think last time was like you do you.
Yeah. Or
So I
competitive
do.
dulu.
Ah,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So now I think we want to help each other. So maybe that's why there's a difference in the
Mm.
digital information out there.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
I really like that you brought that example because it does help in the definition. Like digital age is being accessible to knowledge as compared to the previous generation. And that time our parents didn't, not say they didn't know how to parent us like the way we expected, but they just don't have the outlet to find out how. So they just know, they just do the way they know how based on their previous parents. So
Mm-mm.
only us in the digital age where we see many other parents who freely share how they parent, and that is why it's accessible to get information around. And parenting in the digital age is really like parenting in the community. Like I don't do it alone anymore.
Yep.
It may seem like I'm doing it alone, but hey, someone else is doing it too, so I want to do the same, you know.
Yep.
Like it doesn't feel competitive. It's really a community right now, if I say that. Yeah, that's what I
Mm.
think lah. Yeah,
Oh, okay, wait.
that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so this is exactly what it means to parent in the digital age, where you have to conduct an episode and your, little child is screaming at the back wants to be part of the episode. Okay. So I like that we all started about the different parenting style. Like our parents' generation, our current generation. And it's very true, like what Eleanor and Fitri mentioned. Yes, I saw the hand there.
That's so cute.
Yes. That it's about community. So personally for me, I have this, it's called what is it? Like support group. Okay, so
Mm.
support group. And that support group have only two people, which is
Oh.
me and my friend. It's so funny because like you expect like support group to be like, oh, like 3-4 people. Of course, we have the Facebook group, the one that have all the mothers sharing tips and tricks and everything. So that's great. But sometimes I feel that it's too much for me. Like I'm not sure about
Same.
the parents here. Even I think caregiver also. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. For caregiving, there's also different styles of caregiving, or are they all the same? But we will come back to that later. Yeah, so in terms of like styles, right? We have different styles, and sometimes the larger group doesn't benefit me. So as long as I can connect with a parent or and we both can, vibe and we both understand each other's pain or similar pains, then I feel that's the enough support lah, enough support
Yeah,
for me,
I agree.
to survive the day. It's all about surviving day-to-day basis. It's not
Yeah.
about, yeah, it's a survival thing.
Mm.
Okay, so I would like to come back to, I mean, we know that now we have two parents, and then I would like to, put a spotlight to our more than just parenting, it's caregiving. So Care, she takes care of the cat, she's a parent, she's also a caregiver to her elderlies. She's right smack in the middle, so how then
Yes.
okay, what's happening? Okay, so how then maybe you can just share like what are some advantage or disadvantage, because we have to come into context of a digital age. Okay, so let's say your role as a caregiver in the digital age, like were there any I don't know, like good tips that you are able to search or what? Yeah, how is it different?
I want to ask, like, can like, can someone else in the elder a generation survive what you are experiencing now without digital age?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the thing is, I'm not sure because maybe at that point of time when before this caregiving happened for elderly and stuff like that, they were in terms of the elderly and the younger generation kind of like balance. So you don't really they don't really become a caregiver by choice or by accident in that sense. But because now also is the generation where we don't really have, I mean, like the birth rate is not that high compared to previously. That is why those age between 25 to 55 may actually lend themselves as a caregiver because the generation gap is too vast. So yeah, I mean, if you are listening right now, if you happen to be, if you have not say happen to be, if you are in 25, between 25 to 55, you may actually lend yourself as a caregiver because of the, I would say, the birth rate, or the increase of becoming a caregiver has become like 40 to 60% actually.
Yeah.
So in terms of comparing whether previously if they have, I mean, now in digital age we will have more access to finding like tips or information online. I would say yes, because we have all the Google and the support group.
Yep.
Back then, when if I were to take example of my aunt who was actually taking care of my great grandmother, back then, she was working full time, and then she takes care of my great grandmother. And how she actually
Wow.
do it is really um having to understand this person that she's caregiving for day to day with no help of like Google or support group. So I feel that the mental capacity has to be really, really strong back then. And I feel that there's no room for you to be, be soft in that sense. Like be
Right, right.
vulnerable. You have
I
to be
get.
the strong front
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
caregiver.
correct.
Yeah, it's not like what we have right now. Me as a caregiver, I can get support from other caregivers from the other organization. And I totally agree when AJ said sometimes in a support group there's a lot of information
Yeah.
that may not be relatable to me, or may just be there's too many advice, I just don't want to take on more because my responsibility is already quite
Correct. A lot
a lot,
already.
right? So
Yes.
I will connect to one or two people who may have similar
Yeah.
areas that I take care of, because I think just like taking care of kids, taking care of elderly has
Yep.
different aspect. They have dementia, they have
Mm.
bedridden, so all different things. But one thing, if as a caregiver to an elderly, they can speak. Some of them, they know what they want, and we can have that conversation. But if like small kids, you don't know what your kids want, right? Like that kind of, you have to like adjust yourself, like what's kind of what kind of conversation you have to
Play guessing.
mold. Yeah, play guessing.
Right?
Yeah, so caregiving or parenting, I feel, is similar. You are still caregiving for somebody. It's just that
Yep.
the level of doing it, I think, is just a little bit different. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, as in it's very well said, because now when, after listening to everyone sharing, I mean, those who are listening, whether you're a caregiver or whichever stage of life that you're in, okay, I feel that this episode would be relatable, because if let's say you're a parent, right, like some of us, we're new parents, or we have, we have kids, whether they are talking age or not talking age, we also have to remember that eventually all of us are going to be caregivers, because we have parents
Yes.
who brought us into this world. So we also have to, what you call that, like, acknowledge them. And we also need to know that, um sooner or later it's going to be our turn. And as parents, we have to, take care of the kids, the young ones, and we also have to take care of, the older ones. So coming back, I think I would like to pose this question to everyone. How then you choose? Because I think I feel that in terms of style, okay, I'm talking about parenting style. We have a lot of parenting style, right? Because we have I mean, for me, sometimes I go to Instagram, and then because of the algorithm, so they will share with me, oh, positive parenting, gentle parenting, so many kinds of parenting, and I'm like, what? Okay. And then of course different parenting style, then there's different, people like, oh, if you do like positive parenting and then you're gonna make your child be pampered, or I have no idea what it's all about. But we have so many, right, parenting
Yes,
styles. Then
yes,
how do we choose? Like, which one is it right for us?
correct.
Which one is better? So I mean, in terms of styles, okay, even caregiving, I don't know whether caregiving got styles also. But yes, the different styles. How do we then choose that is suitable for
Wow.
us?
I think I've
Yeah.
got an answer for this. Because
Yes.
when you mention about gentle parenting, positive parenting,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like stereotype, but this concept comes from the Westerns.
Right.
And you bring yourself to Asian parenting. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, Asian parenting is different, I believe. It has a different set of culture, different priorities, different values. So if you mix those two, sometimes for me I will mix these two, because sometimes if you do too gentle, you might be too lenient. You have to see the situation, right? Asian parenting to me is more, not say rough lah, but it's very straightforward. I would say it's not so gentle or too positive. I don't know how to make it say this in
Okay.
but it's somewhere in between here lah for us. Or you have to like,
Mixture.
yeah, mix. You kind of have to choose on a day-to-day basis, like what mood you are in. I feel like
Okay.
I can't be gentle all the time if I'm working on something else, and then or the kid is having a blowout or tantrum. There is a certain way you have to choose which is the most applicable at the point.
Right.
And we have over the years, moms are pretty expert in choosing what is the best solution for this situation right now. Like they say to pick your battles.
Yeah.
So what is the best at this situation right now? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a new concept whereby you don't stick to one, but then you depend on the situation and depend your mood as well, to fit into the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, Fitri, you want to share anything about what kind of style you're using right now for parenting?
Now no style, but there are different
Style.
methods out there. So initially, I think for every style that we read about parenting, I will always discuss it discuss it with my husband. And the what made us decide to follow a certain style is we have to ensure that the style fit our religion. So we abide to Islam. So anything that feels that our religion can how do I put this? You guys are nodding your head like telepathy. Everyone understand here what I need to share. As long as we feel that it's right, it abides to our religion, it's safe, it goes in line with what the Quran says, with what the Sunnah says, then we're definitely gonna follow it lah, follow through it. We'll see how. But yeah, when it comes to the discipline part, being gentle, being positive, I think that one really up to the parent, because each parent has your own experiences, traumas, behaviors that shapes who you are. So if you can you if you cannot mold yourself to fit to a certain style, then don't be so hard on yourself. because that would lead you to us talking about self-care, about me time, about okay, having a clear mind, make sure that this is what you really want to do. But yeah, so that's my stand now when it comes to choosing methods, parenting methods for your children.
Right.
I guess just to generalize the context, I think we can follow what we find that is morally right. I think in terms of morals and the values that we hold. So I mean, yes, we can go into the religious aspect. If let's say you're, you know, not into that spectrum, then I feel that personally it's all about what you feel that is moral to you and what you value as a person.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, Rini, anything else you want to share? Add on?
I feel that caregiving doesn't have like a style, especially
Are
for
they all the
elderly,
same?
but it really depends on what is the person that you're caregiving for is experiencing, because dementia elderly will have a different set of caregiving.
Right.
Bedridden elderly may have a different set of caregiving. So it really depends on who you are taking care for and what kind of situation they are in. And I feel that the very basic and style that is across whatever caregiving you are in right now is definitely a lot of patience, because they say that when they become an elderly and they cannot move a lot, they become impatient themselves because they
Right.
cannot move, they cannot be
Right.
free like last time, like they used to be. So they
Oh,
became
yes.
like a back to like a baby. You have to take care, you as a caregiver have to take care of that person. But them who's actually experiencing all this, they may feel frustrated, so they may actually get angry at you for not giving what they wanted. They may actually some I know some of the elderly I know that I've been talking to a lot of caregivers, they may actually say out not good words and stuff like that to the
Oh,
caregivers.
okay.
So the amount of patience, I feel it's across
Yeah,
caregivers.
man.
Yeah, no matter
Yeah.
no matter what kind of caregiver you are. So have
Yes.
a lot of patience, and definitely reach out if need help. Yeah,
Oh,
that's very
okay.
important. Yeah.
I think that's a lot. I mean, like what you have to go through of taking care of adults versus taking care of children. There's a, yeah, like you said, there's a different set of difficulty, and yet we're taking care of someone.
Yes.
And the universal values that we all have is actually patience, having the
Yes.
patience to take care
Yeah.
of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you are taking care of kids like what you, I mean, all of you have, right? Especially babies, right? Toddlers, they don't know how to express. They only know how to cry. And you have to figure out like, what are you crying for? Whether what are you crying for? Milk? Are you crying for my attention? Are you crying for what are you crying for? So
Yeah.
that's another set of challenges that mothers have to go through. As for caregivers, the other set of challenges is to understand what that person whom you are taking care for are going through, like what kind of pain they are going through. Of course they can talk, they can speak, but then you also have to understand that you have to kind of like also be in their shoes. Like, if I were to be in their shoes, what would I do? So yeah, I think whether you are parenting or caregiver, patience is
The virtue.
important.
It's
Universal.
important and a virtue and universal. Even running your business also must be patient. So,
Yes, it's a journey. It's a
yes,
journey. It's a
yes. So
journey.
patient,
Yes.
very useful to have. You need to hone that
Yes.
soft skill.
Really?
Yes.
Caregiving starts when your elderly has a medical issue, is it? Because I mean, maybe you
Mm,
can share lah. Because I mean,
mm.
I also take care of my parents, but they can take care of themselves for now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when
Yeah, that's the thing.
caregiving
Okay.
starts.
So, for me, my caregiving starts when my grandmother fell down. So she is not that mobile, even though she can still walk on the frame stick. But I need to be there 24/7 to make sure that she don't fall again. Once she fall again means it will be bedridden because she has all the injuries, and you know, like older generation, they have this elderly, their bones are no longer, they are very fragile already, you know. If they fell down, that's it. And my grandmother is someone who is very active. She will, you know, like go out and stuff like that. Yeah, so once she got constrained, so that's when she feels a bit a bit and not useful lah, in that sense. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we have a lot of conversations today. We shared about what parenting is, even caregiving as a bonus topic for today's episode. Okay, so I mean, eventually we're all going to be caregivers. And at the point of time, we are going to be taken care of as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be taken care of as well. And when the time comes. So with that, thank you guys for being such amazing listeners, and thank you, my Biz Buds, for being such amazing participants, and for those of you guys who are tuning in. If you like what we share, you know, like, don't forget to subscribe to our social media platform. We are almost on every platform: YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram for now. Yes, for now. And with that, I will catch y'all on the next episode. Bye bye.